Hey guys, it's Mike here, and I'm just going to go over one version of the Gmetrix testing. So here we go. Number one, in slide 2, apply the fill orange accent. Yeah, that's orange word art. So I'm going to select slide 2, highlight the text introduction, and then go to the format tab once I have my words highlighted, and then go to the word art styles menu and choose the orange word art. So that's just the word art style. Don't confuse it with orange fill color. We'll get going on the second question. The second question asks us to create a custom slideshow with only these slide practice reading and practice reading questions. So for that one, I wasn't sure at first whether to pick custom slideshow or setup slideshow, but then when you go back to the question and read it carefully, which you should do on this test, it does say create a custom slideshow. It even bolds custom slideshow. So that's the option. I'm going to go to create show new, and then it wants the last two slides and it named them 4 and 5. So I'm going to click both and then add, and that's all they want you to do. In your examples, or you might be asked a similar question, you might have to rename this, but it didn't ask me to, so I don't have to do that. On slide 4, I'm going to change the smartart layout and add a smartart effect to the already existing smartart. So I'm going to click. Now make sure you click on the border and not the individual shapes within the smartart. Make sure you double click on the border on the outside of the smartart when you're making changes to your smartart. So I'm going to choose layout types, more layouts, and in the all category we see our, I think it was some kind of like honeycomb, or no, sorry, that's coming up later. Table hierarchy is in the hierarchy group, which makes sense. And then I'm going to press OK. It changes to the table hierarchy, and in the smartart styles group, choose subtle effect. So that's in the smartart styles group under the design tab, but you have to click on your smartart to activate that tab. On question 4, on slide 3, format the legend to be positioned at the bottom. Yeah, so there's two similar questions that you could be asked. One looks like this with changing the legend, and then one is adding best fit. And we go to chart elements, that green plus sign to do that, and then go to the legend options by choosing the right arrow, choose bottom by clicking on it. And then there's a few ways you can fill this bottom shape, but I'm going to go to more options, and then I'm going to click on the paint can looking one on the left side in this format legend, and then fill. Make sure it's a solid fill like the question asks us to, and then choose color drop arrow and choose rose accent 2. So that's how we would format the legend in our chart. Okay, so you see it has a rose color, and then we're on to the next question. The fifth question asks us to modify the transition on slide 1 to advance after 5 seconds and not on click. Okay, so that one is slide 1, and we have to click the transitions tab. So there's already an existing one. We take off on mouse click and we change after 2 seconds. So don't confuse this with duration. Duration's already 2 seconds, or sorry, 5 seconds. And then we make the slide last 5 seconds. So the slide will be on the screen for 5 seconds and then move to the next one. Question 6 asks us to go to slide 4, set the text box with the bullet list to have 2 columns. Okay, so there's actually 2 questions on this test that I'll get. This one is exactly the same. And I'll highlight the text box first, go to the home tab, in the paragraph group, click the column drop arrow for 2 columns. And that's how we do 2 columns. On slide 3, apply the shape, style, colored outline. So again, for this one, I think you just have to be careful that you choose the outside of the chart and not individual elements within the chart, and then go to the format and go to shape styles, the colored outline orange accent 1. So your whole chart should be in white and with the orange outline to it. Okay, so make sure you select the outside, just like for smartart, select the outside, not individual elements in the chart. For question 8, change the first animation on slide 2 to have a half-second duration. Okay, so go to this slide, slide 2, click animations. There's 2 ways you can do this. You see those numbers, you can click number 1, or you can open the animation pane and click the first one there. Either way works, so click 1 to activate it, or click the 1 on the numbers here. Okay, and then change the duration to 0.5 instead of 0.75. All right, so we'll go to the next question. and it asks us to set your timings to advance after each slide. So timings means transitions. So every time you see timings, that means transition. If it says clear timings, that means then take the after checkbox off. This one's asking us to remove the on click and change the timing to after 2 seconds. So I think we just had a similar one that was like that. But be careful the word timings. Timing means transition. And then apply to all. So don't forget to apply to all. I had a lot of students make that mistake in the training where they didn't apply to all. If it asks you to set the timings for each slide. So each slide equals apply to all. Okay, save the presentation as older version, formatted for 97 to 2003. So we'll do File, Save As, and this will take us into our two options that we need to change here. So we need to save it in our Gmetrix template folder, rename the file as older version. Remember your capitals, capital O, capital V, and then Save As type. We're going to save it as the 97-2003 presentation. Just in case you were presenting on an older computer, that's how you would make sure your document's ready. And then it's going to give you a warning saying, hey, some of these new objects that are in 2016 don't convert properly to an older version, and you're just going to say, okay, that's fine. Using the slide master, change the presentation theme to the main event theme. So in Gmetrix, make sure there's a bunch of ways you can change the theme, but make sure you do it the Gmetrix way, which is View tab, Slide Master, go to the themes drop arrow, and the main event theme you have to scroll down a little bit to get to. It's the red one, kind of looks like a movie. Okay, and then it sort of looks like a movie premiere or something like that. That's the main event theme. Create a customized slideshow with the name only the highlights. So this one we actually are going to create a custom slideshow and change the name, and then we're going to choose a select number of slides, 1 to 5 and 9 and 10 to have on our slideshow. So we go to the custom slideshow, new. We're going to select the slides that we need, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then also 9 and 10. So it doesn't matter as long as you get all those slides over there. And it's really the names of these slides that matter. So the 10 becomes 7, and then they said reorder slide 10, the original slide 10, move it up 1. So what can we do better is now slide 6 in the new slideshow. And don't forget to rename the slideshow as only the highlights. So for this one, they actually do have us change the name. The previous question that was like this did not ask us to change the name. So just be aware of that and read the instructions carefully. Can't stress that enough. And then we're going to press OK. And just close this down after you've done that. And now we're going to, we're on question 13. Using the ribbon, increase the list level of the bullets on slide 3. So we're going to click on slide 3, make sure you highlight all the paragraphs or the bullet points. And then in the home tab, in the paragraph group, there's this little like increase list level. Just click that once and then it'll move it to the right. Or you could have pressed tab, it would have done the same thing and you wouldn't have lost a mark for that. Okay, so on slide 2, change the text from one column. So again, this is a bit of a repeat question. So we're going to change this text box to 2 columns. So we're going to select the box. In our home tab, click the column drop arrow and select 2 columns. And that's it. So it's a bit of a repeat question. We had one just like that. So question 15 asks us to convert the bullet list on the slide, what can we do better, into the alternating hexagon smartart graphic. Okay, so we're just going to change the list to smartart. Remember the word convert, not insert. So don't insert smartart on top of this. We want to highlight the bullet points and change the bullet points into smartart. Okay, so don't insert convert to smartart. Okay, so change these bullet points to smartart, convert to smartart in the home tab, and then alternating hexagons is in the all categories, and it looks like this. Okay, so convert to smartart is in the home tab, and yeah, make sure you don't convert insert over your list. Okay, using the ribbon menu, add the audio clip upbeat to the first slide of the presentation. So just keep in mind there was a video question like this where I will give you the freebie mark. It doesn't seem to work on the computers at Centennial, but audio, this worked fine. So insert and then audio, drop arrow, go to recent places, Gmetrix, and then choose the upbeat. And yeah, we added it to the first slide. We don't have to do anything else to the audio clip as long as we inserted it, so that's fine. And you can see it there. So our next question is apply the fly-in animation to the truck on slide 11. So first go to slide 11, and then we're going to click on the truck, and make sure that it's easy mistake to make that when we click on something like this, we add a transition and animation. So it's an animation and fly in. Don't add a transition to the slide. That doesn't move the truck like that. Okay, so fly in, we don't even have to change the effect options. Just fly in, leave it like that. Now we're going to use the ribbon. Okay, so we're going to insert a slide from a different presentation. So if you remember how to do that, that's in the home tab. Go to the new slide drop arrow, choose reuse slides. Go to browse. I'm going to close the animation pane, browse. And again, when you're finding a file for Gmetrix, go to recent places, Gmetrix templates, and find the file that you're looking for. So make sure it's 511, that's the one, and it's the fourth slide called Gourmet Sales 2015. Just check with your question. And our new slide 2 is this Gourmet Sales 2015. On the slide titled New Truck, insert a comment onto the truck image. Okay, so this is something new that, I mean, it's not new, I've done this before, but I've rarely seen this question in a Gmetrix test. So this one, I clicked on the truck and then clicked insert comment. And it doesn't tell you to add anything to the message, but just in case I kind of moved the comment onto the truck, I don't know if they would have marked me wrong because I did select the truck when I inserted the comment, so I just made sure that it wasn't wrong by moving the comment over onto the truck. Use the ribbon to perform a document inspection of the current presentation, remove all document properties. This is a great Gmetrix question and a great MOS question too, so this is good to know. Go to check for issues in the info tab, in the file tab, inspect document, and then you click inspect, and in the section for document properties and personal information, say remove all by clicking on it, and then you can close this. So with them, we've taken off any personal information, and I'm ready to submit the test. Let's see how it went. Press OK, and we're all superstars. All right, so I hope to see a lot of those today. And on your test as well. So make sure that you remember that the training does help as well, and try a few runs of the practice test if you have time.